fear. It's the destiny of a Jedi. Your destiny.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the channel. Bobby Hammz here with some of the entertainment news that caught my attention this week. First topic is Star Wars. The Final Rise of Skywalker trailer debuted online on Monday, the late Carrie Fisher's birthday. And speaking candidly as someone who's not a mega fan of the franchise, the trailer did not make me more hyped to go see the movie. I don't think it showed enough footage that gave you enough of a hint as to where the story was going. Mystery in a trailer is good in some cases, like a mystery movie, and showing too much could spoil it, a la Batman v Superman. However, Star Wars can't afford to be too secretive anymore because the franchise has been fumbled big time. And I think the studio needs to focus on recovering the fans' goodwill that certain Disney executives, whose names rhyme with Kathleen Kennedy, squandered, and really make like an effort to rehabilitate Star Wars' reputation as a generational force of inspiration and imagination. Plus, there was barely any General Leia in the trailer, which was odd considering the company knew it was her birthday when they decided to release the trailer on that specific day. Like no montage, no nothing. And there wasn't a follow-up tease to the evil Rey clip from the first trailer, or maybe that was a teaser trailer. So I guess that's not an important segment in the film to put in another trailer. I don't really understand the marketing strategy of keeping everyone in the dark when you need everyone to see some sort of signpost as to where the story is going, especially since this is supposedly the final chapter in the Skywalker saga. Another thing though is that the movie is going to have the longest runtime of any Star Wars movie, clocking in at 2 hours and 35 minutes, which is 3 minutes longer than The Last Jedi, a movie that retconned characters and cut a bunch of threads set up in The Force Awakens and wound up making very little sense on its own. So is that really a good thing? I don't know. So I mean, I gotta ask, is the majority of this 155 minutes going to be spent explaining away The Last Jedi through a series of like actualies? Actually, Rey's parents were super important after all. Actually, Casino Planet wasn't a huge waste of time, and Captain Phasma is perfectly okay. Actually, Snoke didn't get killed so easily like a sucker. It was a body double that he borrowed from Nick Fury. Boom, connected, genius writing, mind. I will say that the settings looked really awesome, but people don't go to movies to watch scenery, so that story, whatever it is, had better be on point. Unless it isn't, and that's why the trailer was all visuals. Yikes. Another story with a character named Finn is going to be featured on the forthcoming streaming service HBO Max. Adventure Time's Finn the Human and his magical dog Jake will return to entertain the masses, like me, in 4-hour-long specials that will follow fan favorites BMO, Princess Bubblegum and Marceline, and many more, as they explore new locales. The specials will all fall under the umbrella title Adventure Time Distant Lands. The first 2 episodes are due to premiere in the spring of 2020 when HBO Max launches. However, the other 2 have no release dates as of yet. All of the titles though have been revealed. We've got BMO, which follows BMO, you know, the cool Game Boy ripoff. Obsidian is about Princess Bubblegum and Marceline. Wizard City centers around Peppermint Butler and his evil schemes. And Together Again is about Finn and Jake. Adventure Time originally aired on Cartoon Network and ran for 10 seasons, and it was one of the strangest, zaniest, and funny cartoons I'd seen in a long time. Finn, Jake, the Ice Wizard, Lumpy Space Princess, Lemonhead and his Screamin', and so many more were just the craziest creations since the cast of characters like on Ren and Stimpy. Like, they were insane. And that's very high praise in my book.
What are you talking about, you idiot?
In other news, Joker has made the fear-mongering media look like idiots as it's on track to reach $900 million worldwide. As of Friday, it became the highest-grossing R-rated movie of all time with a haul of $788 million, surpassing both Deadpool movies. Furthermore, because the Todd Phillips directed film cost around $70 million to make, it looks poised to earn around $500 million in profit which is a bit of an irony since Warner Brothers intentionally approved the small budget because they hope to discourage Phillips from making the movie in the first place. For comparison, Avengers Infinity War grossed $500 million in 2018 after everyone got their cut, marketing and theaters and etc. And that total could have been higher, but that movie cost $300 to $400 million to make. So technically, Joker could end up earning more money than Infinity War. Yeah, I bet Warner Brothers is laughing now. Moving on from a highly successful fresh take on a popular character to a character no one is asking to see again, Disney hired Ted Elliott and Craig Mazin to develop a story for. Let's pause right there. Now, knowing how creative Disney has been over the past 20 years or so, are Ted and Craig developing a story for a sequel, a reboot, or an original idea? A reboot of the Pirates of the Caribbean. Disney's still beating that dead horse, huh? Ted is a veteran scribe for the Pirates movies, and Craig created the HBO miniseries Chernobyl. I suppose it's sort of kismet since Johnny Depp has made the franchise quite radioactive. I can see the title now, Pirates of the Caribbean, Nuclear Winter. And everyone looks like Davy Jones. But all jokes aside, Deadpool writers Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick were hired in late 2018 to come up with something that would give the reboot, quote, a kick in the pants. But they left in early 2019, so I don't understand why the studio would go back to the person who helped write 4 movies that started out very well and then quickly diminished in quality and box office returns. I understand people have to work, and I really wish the writers all the best, but I don't understand why try forcing a reboot of a franchise no one is clamoring for, using someone who was already involved in the rise and fall of the first iteration. Depp isn't slated to be in the reboot, but frankly, I'd rather see a live-action movie about Luffy. Then again, I'm thinking, no. In streaming news, a report from Ampere Analysis argues that in what's described as a golden age of spending, Netflix and other online platforms may have sparked Hollywood's, current production splurge, but it's traditional TV companies that are actually fueling the competition as they play catch up to the likes of Netflix and Amazon Prime. The report indicated that global spending on TV, film, and sports content increased 65% from $100 billion to $165 billion between 2008 and 2018, but nearly $50 billion of that growth came from TV companies in the last 5 years. Subscription VOD, video on demand services have the broadcasters shaking, and rightfully so, since traditional television is filled with mostly adverts and obnoxious adverts at that. Like towards the end of this week's Flash episode, the program returned from a commercial break, and I swear it played for maybe 3 minutes and then it went back to a commercial break. Like, it's little wonder that Charter lost 75,000 pay TV subscribers and Verizon lost 67,000 pay TV subscribers in the third quarter. I mean, who wants to pay all that money for channel packages that provide hours of commercials with the occasional TV show in between? Like, cut the cord. Finally, Quentin Tarantino is re-releasing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, a movie that I really liked, back in theaters with something like 10 extra minutes of footage, which is the same stunt that Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home pulled earlier this year. I know Endgame was re-released because Disney desperately wanted to overtake Avatar as #1 movie of all time, but they couldn't do it in one run, so they had to take a second lap. So Avatar is still #1 in my mind. I don't know why Far From Home or Tarantino are doing it, but I hope it doesn't become a new Hollywood trend. Just roll the dice, release the movie, and hope the audience likes it. If they do, then take that extra deleted scenes or whatever, put them on a DVD or as digital exclusives, either separately, on their own, or incorporate it as part of the film and make it a director's cut. Zack Snyder did that with Batman v Superman after half an hour of that footage got cut out. Doing a second lap in cinemas, to me, just screams a marketing scam, because as much as I like Joker, I've seen it twice. If it gets re-released with 7 minutes and 52 seconds of extra scenes, I wouldn't go see it. Honestly, I just wouldn't be worth my time. It's like buying a loaf of bread from a bakery, You pay your $3 or $4, take it home and use it for sandwiches and soups and whatever else, and enjoy it. But then a week later, the baker calls you up and is like, oh yeah, hi, this is Bobby from Bobby's Make It or Break It. You bought a loaf of bread from us last week, right? When you bought the loaf last week, it actually wasn't the entire loaf because I cut off 19 slices and kept them to myself until now. So come on back and get these 19 slices. I'm not sure that example helped illustrate my point at all. Anyways, that's going to do it for me this week. Which are you more excited about? Star Wars, Adventure Time, or a Pirates reboot? Or would you rather spend $100 for a year's subscription on a guaranteed disaster like Fallout 76? Let me know down in the comments. Like and subscribe if you'd like to like and subscribe to things, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao.